Welcome back to the channel, Gerald Chambers. Hey, I found an article and I wanted to give you a summary of the main ideas. The article is entitled Spiritual Distress is a Clinical Reality in Brain Disease. And this is from Neuroscience News. And here's some of the main ideas, right? Spiritual distress is a real clinical issue in neurological illness. Researchers argue that patients with serious brain diseases often experience spiritual struggles that affect their well-being and should be recognized in medical care. Spiritual concerns are common among patients. About 60% of American adults want their spiritual or religious concerns acknowledged in healthcare settings, showing that spirituality is important to many patients facing illness. Doctors rarely address spirituality. Many clinicians, especially neurologists, avoid discussing spiritual concerns because of a lack of training, time pressure, or discomfort with the topic. Spiritual support improves patient well-being. Addressing spiritual needs can lead to better coping with illness, stronger doctor-patient relationships, clearer alignment on treatment goals. Neurological diseases can trigger existential crises. Brain diseases such as neurodegenerative conditions often cause loss of identity, memory, or autonomy, which can intensify questions about meaning, faith, and purpose. Medicine is moving toward a biopsychosocial spiritual model. An expanded framework adds spiritual health as a dimension alongside physical, psychological, and social factors. Clinicians can screen for spiritual distress quickly. Researchers recommend a simple two-question approach. Is spirituality or faith important in how the patient understands their health? Would they like someone to talk to about these concerns? You're talking about structured tools exist to assess spiritual needs. I guess there's some FICA framework, FICA, faith, importance, community, addressing care. Certain statements may signal spiritual distress. Clinicians should listen for phrases like, why is this happening to me? I've lost touch with my faith since this diagnosis. Here's now they give a core takeaway, right? In my analysis of the article, here's a core takeaway. The article argues that spiritual suffering is a measurable and clinically relevant dimension of illness, especially in neurological diseases, and healthcare providers should screen for and address spiritual concerns as part of holistic patient care. Now, this is neuroscience catching up to 12-step recovery. Now, let me show you something else. Now, the basic text of Narcotics Anonymous, right? It was copywritten in 1982, right? Now, let me just say why it's important to go to meetings. Because look at what we say. Look at what our literature says. Look at what our literature says. Wait a minute, let me just find it. I didn't bookmark it like I was supposed to before this, but let me just read you a little something out of here. Wait, where is it? Where is it? Oh, here it is, right here. Here it is. Here it is, right here. This is in step 11. We sought through prayer and meditation to improve our conscious contact with God as we understood Him, praying only for knowledge of His will for us and the power to carry that out. Now, in the text, it reads, our spiritual condition is the basis for a successful recovery that offers unlimited growth. So in 1982, we were already on it, that there was a spiritual dimension to illness and that it needed to be addressed. So the main takeaway, the main one for me is 12-step recovery is often ahead of the science. You don't have to go to medical school to figure out what the most important things are. You can easily figure it out by going to meetings. Now, don't not go to school. I'm not saying that, but there are other ways of knowing. 12-step recovery is another way of knowing how to do things and what's most important and what needs to be handled. And I'm inviting you to take a look at it, especially you guys in drug treatment. You guys trying to figure out how to put your lives back together. 12-step recovery offers you a path. You can come back quicker in a group of other recovering people, a diverse group of problem solvers, when we start talking about our situations and how to get better. Diversity trumps individual achievement in a problem solving group. So me and Flip Wilson just wanted to holler at you. Man, like, share, and subscribe, man. Until next time.